What a race. Holy cow. What a freaking race. Wow. Woo. That's the Indy 500, baby. That is the Indy 500. Favorite two sporting events every year. Indy 500, the Masters. Never disappoint. Never disappoint. What a freaking day, too. What a freaking race. Holy cow. All right. Beers by the Ivy, presented by Joey Scott Media. I'm Joey Scott. It's my sports podcast. Thanks for checking it out. Please like and subscribe. We're building here. I'm going to go into Indy 500, what I loved about it. I was there today. Had a great time. Such a great vibe. Hilarious with a rainstorm. I'm going to go into that. But first, I'm obviously going to start with the race itself. Wowzer. Wowzer. Catching up on all the TV and the radio. Man. Well, I was listening to the radio at the track, actually. My favorite thing in the universe is the IMS radio network. There's nothing better in life than those 4 or 5 hours of those guys on the radio broadcast. My favorite freaking thing ever. Holy cow. Joseph Newgarden. Competitor. Champion. Well-deserved champion. I love that dude's fight. OG, old school, get it done. Doesn't matter. Who cares? 2 years in a row. Back-to-back champions. Both years. Leading the last lap in position 2. Same move both years. High on turn 3. Take the lead. Celebration. Unbelievable celebration. I love that. I love people who are tough. This whole podcast is about two things and two things only. Toughness, leadership, and winning. And then fan perspective, enjoying sports, having a good time. That's the only two things that this podcast is about. And Newgarden today just put on a clinic of toughness. Compete against, originally going to the race, everyone's like, oh, he's going to compete against like his fellow Penske guys. Nope. Look at the people he competed against today. O'Ward, one of the best drivers in all of racing in the world, period. Has won the Indy Car Series. Incredible. Rossi, Indy 500 champion. My favorite of all time races was when Rossi won in like 2016. Dixon, OG, knowledge, intelligence, toughness. And Newgarden goes out there, last like 23 laps it was, competing with every single one of those guys, coming out strong. Just unbelievable performance by him. Oh, man, I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. When he goes into the crowd like that, I mean, that's legendary stuff, guys. Like, that is being a champion. Like, that is what I'm talking about. The first year he did it, I almost lost my mind when he did that. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in the motor speedway. And then to do it in year 2 and make it like a tradition. Like, there's going to be like a verb that's like the Newgarden thing to do. Like, you did the Newgarden. Like, that is just so freaking cool. And the athleticism to jump over that railing, pretty impressive, guys. Pretty impressive. I loved everything about his competitiveness. There's a lot of good guys today. I mean, Connor Daly, I thought he had a good fight early on. Rossi, I actually thought Rossi was going to win the race. Like, that was my pre-pick. I just had a vibe. I was like, he won essentially running out of gas in 2016. This year, I think he's going to win it, like, straight up, like, competing, like, to finish it off. But, man, what a freaking race. I'm taken back by it. I think I need to pause and catch my breath. I do want to say, though, I thought, catching up on the TV broadcast, I thought that was the best TV broadcast I've ever seen. And I think one of the reasons was just because the racing was so good. I mean, I didn't look at the stats. Like, I'm just pretty much coming here full energy. I usually do a little bit of homework before these, but like the pure energy of these guys, I mean, there must have been 30 plus lead changes or something just absolutely nuts in this race. I mean, there's so many guys that were leading the race. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, but it's like Ferchusi or something like Ferjetsi. I don't know. I'm going to completely butcher his name. But that guy finished, I think, second or third last year. He brought it today. I thought he was going to be better. I thought Daly, ooh, he's early. Like, I was kind of rooting for him because he's like, 2 towns over from me. First, like, lived 2 towns, or, grew up 2 towns over from me. But, geez, man. Oh, what a freaking race. And once again, radio broadcast. I was sitting there in the Coke lot, just jamming to the radio. It was annoyingly like 15 seconds behind real life, but just those guys and what they do in that broadcast, just freaking incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, let's kind of recap the day. So it's a funny day, right? You get there early in the morning. I just had a GA ticket. We met up, my group of friends, we met up in essentially in the Coke lot, and we were on the hill, and then it just starts pouring down rain. First you think it might not rain because it's Indiana, and then it just starts pouring down rain. And honestly, what a fun day. What a fun day. What a great experience. One thing too I really liked about moving the time back was it created more challenges for the drivers because you essentially have temperatures on the track. Like, that's something they had to think about. You also had sunlight differences. You have pretty much a perspective of sunlight that none of these drivers have ever seen racing in the Indy 500. That noonish start, right? Now we're starting at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Completely different in terms of your vision on the track. That's another reason why I love Newgarden. Just the toughness to finish strong. Unfreaking believable. But what a fun day. I mean, everybody was having an absolute ball with the rain. An absolute ball. I was looking at my friend, I was like, it's about to literally pour. And he's like, yeah, like, we don't have a tent. And I was like, I know, because we were just roaming for the day. And I was just like, we're going to have to make some friends because this is going to be an absolute rainstorm. And then shout out this group of people who let us stand in their time, kept us dry, and even gave us food. And that's what's great about the Indy 500. If you've never been, you got to go. Just because the vibe, everyone essentially is on vacation, just having an incredible time and just enjoying themselves. And even with the rain, it just made it more fun. Like, once the rain went away, it just like re-energized the whole crowd. I mean, there must have been 350,000 people there. I mean, I have videos. I'll have to B-rail, put them up. But like, the whole grandstands was full, top to bottom. And the entire infield just completely packed. I mean, you're almost stepping on people walking in on the lawn. Not a parking spot open. Snake pit, though I didn't go in, it looked absolutely slammed. Just a fun day. Just a great job by the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on this one. But man, whew, you sometimes forget how fast those cars actually go. But when you're standing there, if you blink, you literally miss them. The only way to seriously see them is to look kind of like in a 100 to 300 yard like view, and then you can kind of like see them. But it's just crazy. Sitting in the Coke lot, your view's not that great. I'm sure some people watching this, like, you guys had incredible views. But I was just taken back by the competitiveness I saw in person, and then the competitiveness I saw in the highlights. The TV energy, incredible. They had the fan noise, it's perfect. The radio broadcast led by Mark James, just incredible, man. I love this is becoming a positive rant, but I love. God, it's my favorite event every year. Just totally incredible. Loved everything about it. I really was thinking too. I was like, when Award and Rossi were battling, I was like, ooh, like Rossi, Award, who's gonna win? And then Newgarden came in, and then I think like around like 15 or 16, right? You had essentially both Dixon and Newgarden coming out of the pits, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be interesting. This is going to be interesting. And just to see those 4 guys, 3 champions at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, competing at the top. And then you had O'Ward, one of the best drivers, known to be one of the best drivers. Whew, that was worth the money, man. That was worth the money, the crowd, the energy, the people were just freaking hilarious. Indy 500 nonsense. You gotta love it. Just an overall amazing day. All right, I don't know what you call this. I think this is called just an energy recap. Um, but yeah, I want to jump on and just talk about it, kind of give my enthusiasm for the race today, and yeah, I can't wait to watch other people's coverage on it because I'm sure they'll go into more like the technical details of the race. But for me, it's just like call out the competitiveness and then just recap how fun that day was. One of the best Indy 500s like I've ever been at. Just I think the rain really just boosted spirits, and I'm so glad they got it in. So glad they got it in. And like I'll say one thing that was cool too, and someone comment if you agree with this or you saw this, but the flyover this race was just so badass. It was, I mean, it literally went almost like right over my head, and I was like, that is so cool. And then they also did like a double back like a few minutes later, and that was just, that's one of my favorite things too about the Indy 500. I made like multiple videos. I didn't even name that. I forgot how like incredible the flyover is. But yeah, shout out Joseph Newgarden, champion, toughness. You know, I even think like his radio comms like went out on turn 3 or something. Like he didn't have like a spotter or something. I'll have to like double check on that, but I think that's what the radio said. Um, but yeah, I just loved every single thing about it, and I love the celebration. If you're out there, man, you fucking bust your ass, work hard, become great at something, and then just keep that toughness and know you're gonna win. Compete, compete, compete. Never, ever have a shy doubt in yourself. Go out there and win, and when you win, that's when you celebrate in life. Celebrate after the wins. If you're not winning, don't fucking celebrate. Just get back to work. But when you win, man, champion, champion, champion. All right, this is wrapping up Beers by the Ivy. Please subscribe for those following on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're getting downloads, and every day I look, I'm just like, this is so freaking cool. I also got my shop up. I sell the poster behind me, Beers by the Ivy, and I also sell these hats. Beers by the Ivy, once again, we're a sports media podcast. We focus on things I love about sports, which is leadership and winning, and also just enjoying sports from a fan perspective. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.